Russ, I was at a cricket meeting last night and all the Cheltenham fans were saying to me, a bonus win on Tuesday. Driving out of the ground, did you feel it was a bonus win?
It was a good win. I think we're doing ourselves a little bit of an injustice if you say that, because the teams are in our league and everyone can beat everyone. We've come close against top teams many a time this season. A lot of our wins have been against teams that have been around playoffs and things. So not many would have predicted it before, but we went there and we were really good. You know, all round it was. The boys did what they were asked and more. We had a bit of fortune at times, and which is what you need to win any game, really. But you know, it was a great win, like you say, and I wouldn't say bonus, but it was a big one.
Gary said it was a horses for courses selection. Can you see 18 more of those in the remaining matches, in the sense that he's going to try and keep people guessing?
Well, you always look at opposition and see what they do and what they're good at, and not so, you know, every coach, manager, whatever worth their salt would do that. But yeah, and then we'll see who's available and pick what we can accordingly. So yeah, it was a game there where we had to be sensible and you know, not leave gaps and make them have to work to do something, which we did. You know, they got it on a few occasions, which they will do. But overall, you know, like I said, it was a particular setting for that game. But we'll see what you know, come up with something else for Saturday.
Is it fair to say, though, that you have upgraded the loans from the first half of the season, and we've seen that over the last month? Pretty
fair, yeah. You know, the first loan window was to add into the squad. Now we're adding to the team, so you would have to say that players have got to be ready more to step in, which, you know, I think everyone can probably agree that they are. So. And then the whole squad is, you know, looking really good now. We've got places, we've got, you know, 2 or 3 people for each position, which we'll need. So we'll need fresh bodies and fresh minds over the next few months.
Does it indicate the changing of the guard a little bit? Because from the signings you made in the summer, only Daniel O'Shaughnessy was in the team at Luton.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it happens, isn't it? I think football's more fluent than ever now. You know, gone are the days where you had sort of 8 or 9, 10 players at a club for 5 or 6 years. I think those days have gone for one reason or another. So you can see it with what's happened here. You know, there's from a league championship side, I think there's only 3 or 4 on the starting lineup the other night.
4.
So, you know, just tell you, but we're not. You know, no one's discarding anyone. It's just the fact of seeing what you've got available, who you think can do the best job. That would be players from last season who've done fantastically well, be it new ones that have come in. We'll just pick accordingly, and you know, they're all capable of doing each other's jobs. Just got to pick the right ones at the right time.
Well, the target last year was always 2 points a game during the National League, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In January, you're 7 points from 5 games. Is that ratio okay if you keep that going forward?
Well, I think we're not doing too bad in the form table last 4, 6 and 8 games. You know, we're just about mid-table, just below mid-table, I think. So that's, you know, if we can keep that up and more, obviously we want more from it. It could have been more. You know, look at Plymouth in particular. You know, we could have won that game, let alone draw it. So, you know, it's been coming. Performances, well, I think we stressed that performances have to be good. If they're good, which they have been by and large, you will get, you know, surely your just rewards in due course. So that's what we're stressing, and stay positive. Keep the belief in the group and what we're doing, and we should be all right.
You haven't played Newport since September. If you pardon the pun, an awful lot of water's gone under the bridge since then, because they have signed a dozen players in January alone.
Yeah. No, I mean, Graham wished had to do something, didn't he? So he's done it, and they're on a good little run themselves, not conceding many, tight unit. So we're going to have to be, you know, right on it. It's a totally different game. I think we've got to press the reset button on the other night and go again.
Is the impression from their group that they may not be the greatest players individually, but they will roll up their sleeves?
All his teams are like that, aren't they? They're all, you know, they all stick together. They're all, you know, the whole is greater than the individuals, obviously. So we know what to expect, and you know what we've got to reiterate that to the boys about getting your minds focused on another game now.
Carl Winchester only had 45 minutes on Tuesday. Gary said it was a tweak of the hamstring. Yeah. Any clue about whether he might be available for Saturday?
Not yet. No, I haven't seen Gav yet. That's the usual Thursday line, and they haven't seen the physio yet. So, yeah, Jeff Boycott. No, I'm not sure. We'll see on Winnie. It was a precaution to take him off. He was feeling tight, and I've had 1 or 2 hamstrings before, so I know exactly what. And when you get cold at half time, you're probably best off. And we needed coming off, and we needed players that were going to be able to be mobile and shift across and fill holes. But we'll see where he is today. Yeah.
But equally, you need players who can play passes like he did for the second goal.
Fantastic ball, yeah. There's not many of us that can see that sort of pass. It was a fantastic ball. It's one of those. Most people would have played it to his feet, to Bart's feet. Great run from Bart. He's done that a few times from that wing back area, and he's come in late. And it was nice for him to finish one off, as it's similar to his Crew goal, wouldn't it really? But a bit of a slightly different pass. But yeah, fantastic ball, great run, and that's what we needed to do. We needed to be lethal when and show a bit of killer instinct, which we haven't done too many times this year. We needed to show some killer instinct when we had it, because we knew we wouldn't get loads of chances, but we were fantastic on the counter attack, really good.
Just a last thought, and that is that when you are pulling a new group together like this, how much does a victory like Tuesday actually bond everybody together, even more than you might naturally get in a dressing room?
Yeah. I mean, I've got to say that the players who were here last year have been great in integrating lads in. There's been quite seamless really. But obviously, the results have been not too bad, so that helps. It gets the, maybe 1 or 2 players aren't quite sure what's going on and this, that, and the other, but that will help them get into the group and feel more comfortable. So I've got to say well done to the previous group as well. That were the boys from last year that have helped the lads come in really quickly.
One more chance to get the forward defensive out. How's Jordan Cranston?
Cranny, again, like I said, I haven't seen Gav, so I know they were in yesterday, so I know Gav was having a look at them as a, sort of 12 to 24 hours after the...
That was a contact thing, right?
Yeah, more of a contact thing. Great tackle. I think their lad wasn't too healthy after it either, but I thought him and Liam were superb the other night down that left-hand side. But yeah, it was a good tackle, and we'll see where he is. I think he'll be sore anyway.
You mentioned press the reset button. Interesting phrase, because I suppose everything that you did at Luton was based around the sort of the defensive shape off the ball, shutting them down. Is it going to be the opposite against Newport? The way to be on the front foot a bit more.
Yeah, well, you're at home, so any home game you want to take the game to the opposition. I don't think the fans would be too pleased if we sat back. I mean, there would be times that you might have to do that. If you don't set out to do it, you might be forced into doing it and then changing slightly. But yeah, we'll look at it. It could be something different that we do. We'll see. Obviously, again on who we've got available. One thing we will have available is probably forwards, because we only used one really the other night in different roles, different people. Sorry, but so we we will look at it and see what we can do.
How satisfying as a coach is it when that defensive shape and the organisation works out and comes off like
very good. Yeah, it's really pleasing. It's a bit like you see it a lot in the Champions League. Sort of when teams go away, they sit back and wait and keep themselves in the game, and when the chance comes to attack, they do it, and they do it in numbers, which is what we asked of the boys. We had legs in midfield to be able to get forward and get back and get across, and it was great to see. Yeah, everyone was patient and waited in their positions, and when it was there, they dealt with what they had to, and then sprung from there. So it was pleasing to see, and we know that hopefully we've got that in the locker next time if we need it.
The back three especially, and there was one time where I think 2 of them got drawn to the ball and
for the goal. Yeah,
but for the rest of the time they were organised and dependable, which was what for 19, 20 and 22 is quite something.
Yeah, it is. It was pleasing, all of them. They all shuffled well and all talked to each other, organised in front, organised alongside. And like I said, there's only that one time really that we were drawn out, and fair play to Luton, they capitalised on it, which we knew they probably would do if that happened. So fortunately for us, it was just a once, and we managed to go down the other end and get 2 or 3.
Yeah, with that being almost the free hit, you've got the 2 games now, or 3 of the next 5 are against teams right around you. By the end of February, you could be either out of it completely or right in it. Are you sort of trying to accentuate the importance of the month, or saying, well, hang on, let's just treat it again?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. You've got to stop yourself looking too far ahead. and we know what's coming up, but you can only deal with what's in front of you. So we'll be looking at Saturday and going. It was nice to win. I didn't get too high, don't get too low when we lose, and try and keep things pretty even and deal with what we've got to deal with. So we'll see. It'd be nice, James, to be away, and that would be the best scenario. But we know football don't work like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.